This is a presentation of DirecTV, exclusive home of the Red Zone channel, the Fantasy Zone, the Dan Patrick Show, 20 years of NFL Sunday Ticket, the Rich Eisen Show, and America's premier source for sports television.
A throbbing migraine got you out of the game? Want relief for your aching head? Help is here, you knucklehead! Pow, boom, bang! Your headache's away! This non-FDA-approved miracle medicine goes to work right away on your headache, firing off neurons so it's like you're hearing me, Rob Riggle, up in your dome, non-stop! Pow, bam! Pain receptors get so overloaded, it's like electrical power surge, and your brain goes into complete pain blackout. Pow! Pain gone! Pow!
And my migraines are gone. Thanks, Rob.
Boom! You're welcome. Zam! Available at CVS, Walgreens, Dwayne Reed. Oh, and the box score. Shots right, pow! Bing, bang, bang, pow, pow, pow!
I don't know a lot about sports, but I can drink a lot of beer.
My motto is simple. C's get degrees.
Need a long, inappropriate hug? I'm your man.
I think I'm smarter than you, because I probably am.
Power cow for box score. Pow! Hello and welcome to the Box Score. I'm Brock in Los Angeles, joined by the Danettes out in Milford, Connecticut. Guys, we had our podcast debut yesterday, so that's available on iTunes and on Podcast One. Paul, are you going to take Mean to all new heights now that we have our own podcast?
Yeah, I don't know if my meanness will translate. I'm hoping, because sometimes there's a visual meanness that is seen on the box score. But I can hope that people at home, when they download the podcast, which is available now, you'll know that I'm being mean as often as I can.
I think they get the tone. The one place you didn't get a chance to be mean was in the box. DP stopped you for a little debate about Tom Brady not being vocal on social issues today.
He can say, look, in the offseason, I do this or I want to do this. Then it's something. You know, my wife and I are very strong advocates of, or we support, you know, then at least I get a context of him doing something.
Yeah.
But he said, I can't make a difference, which I think is wrong.
Yeah.
You either don't want to do it. I don't think you can say you can't make a difference. If Peyton Manning wanted to do, would Peyton Manning make a difference? I would think so. Drew Brees helped rebuild after Hurricane Katrina. He made a difference. Now, granted, that's social activism in a different way.
Yeah. I guess that counts as my box appearance.
Yeah, I know.
Well, there's a few things I'm going to go over here. It's that kind of intelligent banter that put me on the air at DirecTV in the first place. And that's going on my reel. Secondly, all I can notice there is the color of my shirt and Dan's shirt.
Yeah, it was bright shirt.
And thirdly, one thing that was interesting there is I actually brought that up. As I was walking towards the box, I brought up to Dan, I go, you know, and I brought up Tom Brady with Dan, and then we started talking about it. But I like that we have the flexibility to not necessarily go in the box and do something different. And, you know, you're not pigeonholed into, hey, if someone wants to, if you want to continue a conversation off air and you have a camera, great, let's show it.
I disagree completely. Bad precedent, Paulie. Dan's got his own 3-hour show. We need that box time.
You know, usually I agree with you, McLovin. I think there should be a box because then you're kind of on your own and you could do what you want. But there, it was kind of natural.
Yeah, I think we hit like that Tom Brady discussion for like 90 seconds on the air right before that box appearance. And then a great debate stayed off the air about Tom Brady. And I don't know that we ever really got back to it.
Yeah. That's the tough part about commercial breaks because you feel like you put a period on the end of a conversation, but maybe it's on us to continue it and push to continue it.
Yeah.
And the problem was we were up against a break. Seton made a good point about Brady. And then, I mean, literally we have to break. And then the next segment is shorter. It's down to like 2 minutes. So you're like, do we revisit this with 2 minutes? Next thing you know, you got a 7-minute break, and then this is more on us. And I think we have to realize that, hey, man, if 3 dudes were both...
Especially, yeah, because we were all arguing about it, or all disagreed on it, rather, I should say. And it was, yeah, it's pretty interesting.
And I'm rarely kind of in on the disagreement. I'm more kind of facilitating it. But that time I was more in on it.
I was just amused how Paul casually shut the door of the box, realizing there was just absolutely no way there was going to be enough time at that point to get in and keep that going, and just let Dan was on a roll and let him say what he has to say, and just forego the box altogether.
Yeah, the topic of athletes being outspoken didn't make it to air, but we can continue that conversation right now. Are there athletes that you would like to see be more outspoken? Let's go around the horn. Seton, start us off.
Absolutely, yeah. But that sort of plays to me. I like people mixing it up and fighting for different things. So I'm always much happier when people stand up for something.
Yeah. Jeter comes to mind, but I understand what Brady's was doing there. He didn't want to get involved and have his name associated with anything to do with Rice and Peterson and domestic violence and child abuse and all that. But if there was someone that I think could really make a difference, that is just such a huge celebrity in the sports world that could take a little a less safe approach, would be Jeets for me.
I have mixed feelings on this one because I'm not the most outspoken guy myself. That being said, I don't really have the platform, except for here to a point, to do so. I think if I was an athlete, I would not want a lot of sponsors. Not that I don't want money, but I would hate to be beholden to sponsors. Even here, sometimes we get beholden to sponsors, and there's things we can and can't say, and I don't like it. So if I were a major athlete and was getting paid $20 million a year, I think I'd pass on a lot more sponsorships so I could do what I wanted to.
I feel like if an athlete has definitely a passionate feeling about a subject, then he should speak out. But I don't think that means that every athlete is required to speak out on every topic. So, it could be if you really feel like you're out of your water expertise-wise, then I'm okay with athletes shutting it down.
Yeah, I'm with you, McLovin, on that. I don't need to hear athletes' opinion on everything. Well, a serious topic, and that kept Paulie from getting in the box. Seton was going to go in there with lighter fare, but he didn't make it all the way in, and we found out why.
How do you walk in and be like, okay, let's make a Superman movie, but we're going to call it Man of Steel? It's totally different now, right? Yeah. You're like, no, it's Superman. It's the same exact story over and over and over again.
Don't go in the back.
Yeah, I guess I was going to talk movies, and I think that's actually what kept me out of the box, was talking movies with Dan, because he made this shocking... The first time he said it a few weeks ago, I thought clearly it was just some type of brain trauma that he had suffered. But when Dan reiterated today that he doesn't like the vacation movies and Chevy Chase...
Big topic.
Yeah, whatever was going to happen in the box there really didn't matter at that point, and we had to address much more serious issues.
I do have a question, though, Brock, and I hope you could ask the people in LA, and I'm going to ask you, Seton, who told you to not go in the box? Because that's interesting. Because last week we had Jim Parsons as the guest producer, and it looks like today we may have had a new guest producer in one of our cameramen. Oh. So I'm curious where the instructions to Seton came from.
Well, I'm pretty sure you just said there, Paulie.
I don't, but I'm still trying. I'm not sure. Because sometimes they do, our producers out in LA do ask the cameraman to convey a message to us.
I'm going to say there's a little birdie or a little crow sort of in my ear in the boneyard, sort of maybe asked, just gave us 2 cents, like, hey, you know what I think would be good here is if you just didn't go into the box. So.
Brock, any insight from the LA crew?
Well, we're just wondering when you started taking orders from Wild Bill. No one gave him any orders.
Well, listen, dude, if you were around Wild Bill as much as we were, when he speaks, you listen.
Yeah, we're all dreadfully scared of him.
Yeah, you're going to end up being picked apart by the crows, I think, somewhere at some random 5-acre farm in Connecticut.
He might be the only person on earth I'm actually scared of.
Well, and for rightfully so. I mean, the guy looks like Sam Elliott in Roadhouse. Miho. Stay with us. Paulie found another McLovin doppelganger. We have a box score exclusive on deck.
Dude, who does that look like? The gentleman with the hat. Guys? McLovin, can you stand up, please? Put that hat on.
Striking resemblance there.
Dude, McLovin's at the Premier League match.
Welcome back to the box score. It seems like this list of McLovin twinsies keeps on getting longer and longer. Perloff, is this just people trying to mimic that handsome McLovin look?
I guess so. It was like, I thought I was, of the Danettes, I consider myself in a way the most unique looking, but I don't see that many other doppelgangers. I mean, Paulie will claim Jason Statham. Actually, there are a lot of Paulie doppelgangers. Like, you'll get random people. There are some Seton doppelgangers. I guess a Seton doppelganger is taking over a new show on CBS, right?
Yeah,
that Late Show.
And Fritzy, I mean, we all know Fritzy just obviously doesn't like to hear it, but.
That was the kind of thing that the more I looked at you and that guy, the more you guys started to look like each other. It was kind of weird.
It's uncanny. I admit that one was weird. And I wasn't that disappointed with that one. Usually I'm like, oh, you think that guy looks like me, but this one, I'll take.
Mm-hmm.
Paulie is always at work at this type of thing, and we found out how he found this latest McLovin doppelganger as we bring you a box score exclusive.
McLovin, doesn't that look like you? Wait, hold on. For a second, that guy looked like an older version of you. Look at the guy on the bench in the hat, McLovin, coming up here in about 3 seconds. Tell me.
Yeah.
Doesn't it look like just his?
Yeah, part of
like
it.
if you were about 10
Maybe
years
your
older.
uncle or something.
Yeah, if you were about 10 years older, McLovin.
Not really. Sadly, I wish.
I mean,
That could be me. Yeah, I might have been in London this weekend. I'm not sure.
I may have to use that morning meeting.
Yeah, there you saw it. That's how the magic is created.
Literally the moment.
You know, seriously, people think that we just sort of get here and do the box score. There's a lot of prep work, you could see. A lot of keen observation.
I'm glad you brought that up, McLovin. I'm even more glad that they rolled on it. I think that proves that we're hardworking guys and we're always aware. I think you kids out there in journalism school, radio and TV, that just shows that magic can be made whilst sitting around appearing to do nothing at all.
Right, I mean, you saw Paul right there, really in his moment there, what he does finest, watching TV, making random useless observations about everything that he sees, and then it pays off, which is like, wow, he's got just such an unbelievable gift. It's really a marvel to watch.
I just got lucky. I was blessed.
Well, let me ask you to maybe pick your favorite Danette doppelganger. Paulie, do you have one?
Well, I hate to pile on Fritzy. Actually, I love to pile on Fritzy. Burt Young bothers Fritzy so much.
But you know what makes it so great?
Yeah, and I think Fritzy doesn't think he looks at all like Burt Young or Burt Young looks like him, which is fascinating because why would people bring his name up if he didn't look like him?
I just don't see that.
You actually don't see any resemblance.
It continues to shock me that.
Do you own a
I
mirror?
look like Burt Young. I have several mirrors that up until no one has ever brought that to my attention before you guys did. I had never heard that one time. So that's.
If you put Burt Young in some free radio station gear from the late '80s, yeah.
Didn't you used to get the Hoff a lot, Fritzy?
I got Donny Osmond and the Hoff.
Now, what decade was that? What decade was that?
When I had the big curly hairdo back in the late '70s, early mid '80s. It was Donny Osmond. It was Tom Hanks. And
Tom Hanks.
But I was also like 12, 12, 13 at the time.
I was Hanks at the time.
Yeah, were you Turner or who?
12.
Okay, stick around. After this, we're going to give the Danettes a pop quiz. Be afraid, like Wild Bill's telling you to be afraid. Miho, be afraid.
Howie Long, Raiders Hall of Famer, joining us, Dan Patrick Show. There's no way that the Raiders could have collected the personalities they did back in the 70s and 80s. You couldn't do that now.
Not that locker room I walked into. I don't know that a Villanova program where you bust every game and there's a priest on every floor necessarily prepares you for the open Raider locker room.
Welcome back to the box score. You guys have it. Howie Long on the DP show today. Howie Long, a man of many talents, much like you guys. He's a football player. Well, not like you. He's a football player, actor, show co-host. Paulie, do you have a favorite Howie Long role on the big screen?
Oh, man. I like that movie he was in with Travolta. Is it Broken Arrow?
Yes.
I think his name is Kelly. He drives the truck. He F's some people up, and he's a good-looking man. I can't, rarely would I say I would trade not only careers with somebody, because I like my career, and I'm pretty happy generally with my looks. Howie Long's a good-looking man. I mean,
You like that flat top?
Oh, come on.
Yeah, he's kind of got rid of that, which I like. That flat top was like...
Howie Long's the all-American man. I mean, that's...
Was he in that movie where they, the military took over the prison in San Francisco? What's the one on the island?
The Rock?
The Rock?
The Rock.
He was not.
He wasn't in that? Oh, because that was going to be my favorite movie.
Ed Harris crushes that one.
Howie's multitude of talents got us thinking, what did other celebrities do before their stardom? So we came up with a little pop quiz. We're going to ask you guys some true, false questions. We're going to give both rows a crack at it. Then I will give you the correct response. Of course, winners get a pat on the back, and losers also get a pat on the back, because that's all we have. First question. Before he became host of Inside the Actors Studio, James Lipton ran a brothel. True or false, back row?
This seem very likely.
James Lipton
Yeah, I
running
feel
a
like he's
brothel?
an English professor.
I can't envision him doing that.
Although he loves to ask that question about the favorite curse word, but I think let's go
What type
false.
of brothel would you run? No, yeah, I'm going to go false also.
Front row, what is your response?
Lipton, he has to have a pass. You just don't think it's going to be that extreme. Seton?
He's got an entrepreneurial spirit,
Yes.
though, that I'm going to say this is true.
You know, it is true. He told Parade magazine that he once ran a brothel in post-World War II France. Très bien. Okay, let's go to
How
our
old
next
is he?
question. Before rising to fame playing Don Draper on Mad Men, John Hamm was once a porn set dresser. True or false, front row?
That's absolutely true. I actually read it a few different places. Now, we had him on, and we wanted to ask that, and I don't think Dan got to it, but next time we have him on, we'll get it more into detail on that one.
Back row, do you agree?
Absolutely, he was. Well, you know, in the research, I do remember seeing that he was a porn set.
Of course, during his early days that he did that along with waiting tables. Next up, Jennifer Lawrence, once who rose to stardom in the Hunger Games, actually cured hunger flipping burgers at McDonald's. True or false?
Well, I know how Brock's devious mind thinks. If he's going to go too true to start with, I think this one will be a false.
I don't think she ever worked at McDonald's.
I don't know about that, but I think they would go false here.
She never
McLovin going
worked
with
at
the rhythm method. That's why he has 2 kids. Front row, what do you have?
True. Absolutely true. Why not? She's got kind of a Jersey girl thing going. I could see her doing fast food.
I'm sorry, with false, we actually made that up. I don't think Jennifer ever even ate a McDonald's.
Look at you
But you don't
playing the
think,
odds.
you don't
Porcelain
know.
skin. One more for you. You can see her every morning on The View before she rose to stardom and got all that fame. Whoopi Goldberg was a bricklayer and a mortician's assistant. True or false, front row?
Wow.
Wow, bricklayer and mortician's assistant.
Now, simultaneously? No. She did those separately, but yes, that's true.
Back row, do you agree?
Well, Seton has an unfair advantage. I've seen him shoot hoops, and he's a bricklayer.
Wow.
Oh, I'm gonna say true. That seems like well, it's either a very
seen her
creative,
union
question being asked, but I think true is the way to go here.
It is true. In fact, she revealed she was also a phone sex operator. Boy, that might confuse you if you get Whoopi on there. Good job. We didn't keep track. We have no idea who won, so congrats. Still to come, we're going to look at a Monday Night Classic. Come on, get ready, y'all.
If you're gonna win this one, it'll take more than luck. No time to point fingers or pass in the buck. Better watch out for 9. He'll drag your D over coals. He may look like John Heater, but don't mess with Foles. And that guy in the backfield, he's wound up like a toy. Keep an eye on LaShawn, the real McCoy. If you keep him in check, look who marched into town. No longer a po' boy, Sproles will make you a clown. They might have their hands full, it'll sure be a pain to stop T.Y. and Knicks. And don't forget Reggie Wayne. Don't spend all your time worrying about the pass. Richardson and Bradshaw can be pains in the The Eagles and Colts, our blood's gonna boil. Let's lube it up down in Lucas Oil. Hit it!
Welcome back to the Box Score. It's last call here at the Box Score bar. Oh man, I think we just saw 2 gratuitous rear-end shots and a Monday Night Classic from Fritzy there.
Brock.
Yes.
Can I ask you a question? Who directed that? Russ Meyer? I saw more of Fritzy's backside than Sipowicz in the early days of NYPD Blue. Let's start shooting those with a soft filter, baby.
Yeah, maybe a soft GE light or something. With such original lyrics, Fritzy, how difficult is it to keep things fresh on those?
It is only because you don't want to use a lot of the same lines. You know, we've been doing this for a few years now, and you're trying to get clever with the city that the game's in or certain team names and things like that. So it is tough. Sometimes as I'm writing, I'm realizing I think I used some of those. How do we dress it up a little bit? Hopefully between roster changes and trying to just move things around and making it a little risque, we can keep things fresh.
I'm not sure I want to see next week's after this one, man. Your pants are gonna be around your ankles.
It's a little dirty, a little naughty there.
Let's keep that Western belt on. We did a little digging, and we may have found a lyric that was in last year's song. Let's try this.
They might have their hands full. It'll sure be a pain to stop T.Y. and Nix. And don't forget Reggie Wayne. Indy's got receivers to put D-backs in pain. Fleener and Hilton. And don't forget Reggie Wayne.
Don't forget Reggie Wayne. Yeah, it'll happen once in a while. I try not to go back to previous scripts in hopes intentionally to not repeat something.
So that's unintentional.
So that'll happen every once in a while. I try to make every effort to have every line be completely.
McLovin, you can't plagiarize yourself. How would you characterize that?
Yeah, and you can't play homage to yourself either.
No, and that line isn't so amazing that it needs to be heard twice in two separate Frank Williams Jr. Monday Night Football songs.
We're not going to.
Did you guys happen to go back 2 years ago or 3 years ago?
This is the chunky turtleneck sweater of lyrics.
Yeah, this is. Yeah.
We'll have to make a more conscientious
Anything
effort.
with Danny Woodhead, you know. He's used that.
Yeah, that was a Chargers-Colts game. I wonder what his Danny Woodhead line was.
Oh boy.
What did they play on the Monday night game this year?
Oh, God help us.
We're gonna definitely work that in.
If you're showing your butt during Colts,
if I'm touching, touching things on the.
Is there a jeans
there.
sponsorship we didn't know about with this?
Yeah, that's pointing to your rear end on a number of occasions and what
and licking his lips.
Yeah,
we don't need to do that ever again.
Standard definition. Trust me.
Duluth with the extra baggy pants. All right, Fritzy, who is on tomorrow? Hopefully it's not someone from last year at this time.
He has been on before. Hopefully not the exact day, but you never know. Michael Irvin, Hall of Famer, the playmaker of the NFL Network, will join us tomorrow. Rich Eisen on Thursday. I'm giving it Thursday and Friday because we only have one guest tomorrow. And Peter King expected in studio Friday in the New York City Man Cave. That's where we're at right now.
Well done, gentlemen. Thank you, and thank you for watching the Box Score. Set your DVR or tune in weekdays at 3 p.m. Eastern only on Audience Channel 239 right here on DirecTV. And also, you can get our podcast on iTunes or at podcastone.com. Cheers, Big Ears.
I don't know a lot about sports, but I can drink a lot of beer. My motto is simple. C's get degrees.
Need a long, inappropriate hug? I'm your man.
I think I'm smarter than you, because I probably am.
Hey, thanks for watching the Box Score. Holy cow!
This was a presentation of DirecTV, exclusive home of the Red Zone channel, the Fantasy Zone, the Dan Patrick Show, 20 years of NFL Sunday Ticket, the Rich Eisen Show, and America's premier source for sports television.